whole month in Thailand for $3,000? Is that even possible? Well, that was also the question that we asked ourselves when we heard it. We've been interested, my wife Jean Marie and I, in starting slow traveling across the world for a couple of years, a month in each place. And we started doing some research on the internet, YouTube, etc., and found a whole bunch of people who were claiming that it's actually possible, if you do it smartly, that you can travel for $3,000 or less, everything included: air travel, insurance, food, accommodation, transportation, entertainment, you name it, for $3,000 or less. I was just not convinced, but when we started really looking into it, it actually began to look like that's something that can be done. So on paper, what we found was, yeah, this might actually be possible. So hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't been here before, my name is Pierre Morier. My wife Jean Marie and I have decided to slow travel across the world. And this is probably the first sort of how-to video that we have decided to embark on. So I hope you like it. As mentioned, we had looked at, is it possible to travel across the world for $3,000 or less and spend a month? We decided that I would go and test this concept out. And we've spent a lot of time in the Far East and in Thailand. And so Thailand became the destination that I wanted to travel to and test this concept out. And that's the Thailand that you see with all the tropical beaches, with the temples, with the amazing culture, with the incredible food, the smells, the amazing people. And if this is possible to do, it'll be something that we want to do everywhere. And so what comes next is my trip to Thailand. Hang out until the end, and I'll break down exactly how much I spent for a full month traveling from New York to Thailand and back again, with everything included. And I think you'll be surprised how much I spent. Let's start with why I chose Thailand as a destination. Thailand is one of Southeast Asia's most popular destinations, and it's for good reason. It's packed with culture, history, nature, and some of the world's most friendly people. Whether you're looking for the urban energy in Bangkok, the mountains of Chiang Mai, or island life down south, or some other off-beaten path adventure, Thailand just simply has it all, I think. Best of all, it's super affordable, but you got to know how to plan. So I chose Koh Samui as my location. I've been there before. I love the island. And in order to get the best accommodation price, I knew that I needed to stay in one location rather than move around. If you hang around, we'll talk about how to find the best possible accommodation prices on Airbnb. Now, let's talk about the planning. So my goal was to experience as much as I possibly could without splurging, but also without the feeling that I was missing out. I set the total budget at $3,000 for 30 days, and that had to include flights, accommodation, food, transportation, activities, and a little bit of shopping. And of course, importantly, I think for any travel, especially when you're getting closer to retirement age, health insurance. And so by tracking every expense with a simple app and adjusting as I went, I stayed on target. I can highly recommend the app that's called Travel Spend as the app that's good to use for this. I'll put a link down below. The app allows you to apportion your travel budget on a daily basis, so you can tightly control plan versus actual on a daily basis and make adjustments. So you can spread, for example, your flight cost out over the whole period of your trip, so you know on a day-to-day basis how much are you actually spending. So first, flights and transportation. I was a little bit late in finding flight prices because it sort of came up on me as a very spur of the moment kind of decision that I was making, which is not ideal. At least you should probably plan on booking your flights about 4 months before you do the actual travel, as flight costs have a tendency to get more expensive as you get closer to the flight date. But I looked at all the online travel agencies, OTAs, like, for example, Expedia, Priceline. I also used Google and even Chat GPT. And so what I ended up doing was I ended up choosing Cathay Pacific from New York via Hong Kong to Bangkok, and then a connecting flight there to Koh Samui on Bangkok Airways. Unfortunately, there's only one airline in and out of Koh Samui, and that's Bangkok Airways. Great airline, but it is a bit of a monopoly there. So that flight itinerary, I think, turned out to have the best trade-off for me between cost and the length of the trip, which turned out to be about 25 hours in total from New York's JFK. On transportation, I had arranged with the Airbnb that I ended up using to pick me up at the airport. And over and above that, I rented a scooter for the full month. And that was just simply an awesome way to explore the island. You know, an island of like Koh Samui. Most tourists, or most people, are driving scooters. So that turned out to be a really, really good way to do it. I'm going to give you the link to the person or the company that I used. Great pricing, great scooter, very safe, new helmet, and so on. So turned out to be a great choice. Now here's a sampling of what I did. First of all, the beaches. I mean, there are so many beaches on the island of Koh Samui that you can go to. I think for different reasons, each place. I do have posted a video that features my preferred beaches, and that's available on the channel. But suffice it to say here that these beaches just simply offered something for everyone. I like something that's quiet and beautiful, and I ended up spending about, at least a couple of hours every day in the mornings on the beach. The beaches on the east coast near Chaweng, which is the main town, and Lamai are beautiful, but I really preferred the northern beaches, close to Bo Put and Fisherman's Village, great little place, and also Silent Beach, close to Mae Nam. So check out my top 4 beaches video. The second big thing I wanted to do was I wanted to spend some time at the various temples and really get into that whole aspect of living in Thailand. And I do have a video of that also. It seems like it's a promotion for all the videos, but not really. This is about what did it cost to spend a month in Thailand, and you'll get all the detailed breakdown at the end of it. Just wanted you to have a feel of what it was that I actually ended up doing. So this happened to be one of the activities that I enjoyed the most. Whether it was standing at a pagoda overlooking most of the island, or the amazing views of the sea from a giant reclining Buddha in the south, or the well-known big Buddha statue in the north. And then, like I said, I even ended up spending 3 full days at a silent meditation retreat with the monks at the Dipahawan Meditation Center. Quite frankly, something that's had a huge impact on my day-to-day life, and I now meditate daily, and it's made a very, very big difference. In order to stay on budget, I ended up eating quite a bit of street food, not exclusively, but quite a bit. And I did find a couple of reasonable restaurants that I kept going back to repeatedly. Obviously, if you stick with Thai cooking, you're going to find the greatest amount of options. But there's a whole bunch of other food available, and in many cases at very reasonable prices. If you look at my night market video here on the channel, you'll see some of the places that I really like to eat. I can't even tell you how much pad thai I had, and there's a dish you can get at a night market, like for example the one in Fisherman's Village, for around $2.50. I mean, it's just crazy. Then I wanted to try and get a little bit under the hood of daily life, I think, in Thailand. And my daughter Colette came to visit, and one of the things we kept seeing was this advertisement for Thai boxing. And so we decided to go to Muay Thai one evening. It was just an awesome couple hours. Whether or not it's fixed, or whether or not, it's 100% real, I'm not 100% sure. But I will say it was just a great evening, and you'll see from the clips here that there was certainly a lot of action along the way. Also, I had chosen to go to Thailand during the Songkran festival. Songkran is a time of year when very large parts of the population engage in water fights on the street, just simply throwing water, squirting water with these squirt guns, on the street. And it's sort of a way to wash away the past year and start a new one. I'll say it's not for the faint of heart, but it was an amazing thing to see all the Thai people really get into it. So that was so cool. The other thing I did was on certain mornings I'd go for walks in some of the villages, and you'll see the Thai monks come from the monasteries in search of their, the daily offerings of food that they pick up. And I had a really great opportunity in Lamai to see some of that. So before I give you the actual costs for the trip, a couple of hacks that I think you might be interested in. First of all, again, use the Travel Spend app. I cannot tell you how helpful it is. Keeps control on your daily spending. And if you feel like you're going a little bit over, you have an opportunity to adjust your expenditure before it's too late. Secondly, and I mentioned this, eat local as much as you can. Don't be scared of street food as long as you find, the most popular and most visited street markets. There's just a lot of incredible food to be had. In many cases, each vendor will just be making one dish that's been in their family for years. And the result is that the quality of what you're eating is just insane. And if you can get a full dinner for $2.50, why on earth wouldn't you want to do that? And plus, it gets you closer to what's really going on in the country. So Accommodation. You know, I'm too old to go to the YMCA. I'm not going to stay in a hostel, but I am going to use a Airbnb or one of those types of websites to book my travel. And why don't we, while we're at it, talk about what's the easiest way or what's the best way to get a good price on your accommodation. And at least this is how I do it. So what I do is I'm interested in a particular place in the world. I look up that location on Airbnb for the period that I'm interested in. And what I've found out is that if you rent for a month, it's going to be significantly cheaper, sometimes 40% or even more than what the price normally is. So I put in a 30 or 31 day period, in my search during the time that I want to go. And up comes, a bunch of locations, in this case on Koh Samui. And what you'll note then, if you're on the website, and it's also on the app on the phone, there is a slider in the upper right-hand corner where you can indicate the top amount that you're interested in paying for accommodation. And so in my case, the top amount was going to be $1,000 just to see what was available. And so I put the top end of the slider, max, $1,000 for the month. And it weeds out all the expensive options that you'd obviously love to stay in, but are just not in the budget. And you end up seeing options that are options that you can afford. So importantly, one, a month long is what you'll choose as the duration, and then two, use the slider to indicate the top price. Because imagine, even if you don't stay for the full month, let's say you only stay for 3 weeks. But if you've gotten the month price at a 40% discount, you're still going to be making out over the day-to-day rate. So yeah, that is what I do. And then once I find out what that rate is, generally what I'll do is I will send the owner of the Airbnb a personal email via the messenger on Airbnb, and I will say, look, I noticed that your Airbnb is available for such and such amount for this period of time. My budget is, and then I'll generally reduce it by about 15% and say, my budget is 15% less than what they're asking for. Is there any way that you would consider reducing your fee for this? And not every time, but in many cases, they come back with something less. So why not get it? And so that's sort of the three-stage process that I use. Try it out and see what you think. If you have a different way of getting good prices, why don't you leave a comment? I'd love to hear what you do to get a good price. Flights. On flights, I've said this before, but book in advance. Book in advance and look at all the options. It'll probably take you a day or so to find the best price for the flight that you want, because you're going to use the online travel agencies. You're going to use Chat, GPT, Google Travel. And then once you've done that, I suggest that you always go onto the airline's own website and see what the same flight is being offered for there. More and more travel providers today are trying to avoid having to pay these huge commissions to the online travel agencies. So sometimes you'll find that the prices, both for hotels or for airlines or other services are a lot cheaper if you go direct onto the provider's website. Also, I recommend traveling light. In some cases, your flight does not include luggage. And if you have a large carry-on, and those are available, you can live for a month with a large carry-on. Especially in locations where laundry is cheap. In Thailand, it was just crazy what you could, what it would cost for. I would go to the dry cleaner or the laundromat, leave my stuff there for a day, get it back 24 hours later, clean, folded for $5. So why not do it that way? And so you can really travel with very little. I think one day I'll do a video on what I bring when I go on these trips. If that's something that you'd like to see, let me know. And then 3 more things. First of all, go to the attractions that are free. Many of the temples, for example, in Thailand are free. Many parks as you go, wherever it is that you want to go in the world are free. Look for free offers, and there's a bunch of apps that you can get that will highlight free concerts that you can go to or free events. In fact, I should do a video on just travel apps. I think that might be helpful. I think that would be one of my next videos to do. So look out for that. Also, get a local SIM card. There's no reason to pay expensive home fees for your phone uses. And of course, I tend to always want to switch my phone to Wi-Fi whenever I can, so that I'm, riding on the free zone and using things like WhatsApp and all those types of apps to make phone calls home or overseas. And then finally, negotiate. I think most people are just scared, very, very scared of negotiation. Why? I don't know. It's part of it. It's fun. It's sort of almost like a little game that you can engage in. So, no matter where I go, okay, if I go to a supermarket, maybe not where the prices are all shown. But if I go to, a mall and there's a vendor outside a store or something like that, and they're selling silk scarves, I always go in with a price that's about 50% lower than what they're offering, and then work from there. They want to make a sale. Some tourists, they think that negotiate a reduction of 5 to 10% is good. I don't. I think you should be at least getting 25 to 30% at the end of the day. And everybody leaves the negotiation happy. It's not to take advantage of anyone, but it's expected. It's part of the culture in many, many countries. Okay, fine. Are you ready? Here it comes. You've been waiting for this budget breakdown. And let's start with the airline. So my flights, again, remember my budget was $3,000. So my return flights, because I booked so late, ended up being $1,428. I feel that I overpaid, to be honest. And it put pressure on the rest of what I did. But I had decided to want to try and show myself whether or not I could do this for $3,000 total. My accommodation for a full month in a wonderful Airbnb, and I'm going to just show you a couple of pictures here as I talk about that. I had a room, which was my room, with a bathroom, which was my bathroom. There were shared kitchen facilities. but just a wonderful, clean place. They cleaned my room once a week. The air conditioning was working. Just a great place. And in fact, I'm going to leave you also the link for the actual Airbnb below, because I just really recommend it. Great people that I stayed with. But the total price for a full month was $753.03. So, you can't beat that, right? Total amount for food that I spent, and that included restaurants, it included night markets, it included groceries, it included having cappuccinos at a coffee shop whenever I wanted it, and so on. I did buy groceries. I did make a sandwich once in a while in my room. But the total for a full month for food was $482.90. Not bad, huh? And transportation then? It's just crazy. I had a wonderful Honda motorbike or scooter, which was really powered quite well. It's not the smallest version. $155.68 for a month. And then finally, some insurance, and then some shopping and activity. So I'm just putting that in as a sort of miscellaneous category, and that was $282.45. So the total for the whole month in Thailand was $3,072. So I went over slightly. Oh my God. But on the other hand, I also booked my flight late. It was a couple of weeks before, honestly, leaving. And so I think I could have gotten that cheaper, and I might have been able to splurge. But let's try and extrapolate then. So if I can do that, $3,000 for a month, or $3,072 for a month. Let's just multiply that by 12 months. So we're talking about doing something like this for about $36,000 per annum. And many of the costs would have been the same costs if Jean Marie had come with me, I feel. And some of these other videos that are out there, where couples are posting about their costs, very, very similar type of prices. And again, have to be a little more careful with the travel. But you can do this for under, I think, $40,000 per annum. And if I compare that to what it costs to live certainly in the United States, and I live in a very expensive area of the United States, in the New York area in Connecticut, but holy moly, why would you want to stay at home? Well, I mean, you do because you want to see your family and friends and so on. And so I think our plan initially is going to be something like 3 months out, 1 month back, 3 months out, one month back, so that we get to come home and spend a good amount of time when we come home. But this is just incredibly exciting for us to have discovered. And I might do another test here, maybe in a more expensive area, to see if that's something that I could make work. But I can't wait for Jean Marie to get out of work so we can do this together all the time. A little secret is that I think what we're planning to do is, so we've been married for 31 years so far, and it's just been fantastic, all the way. But I think what we might want to do is renew our vows in one of these exotic locations. Maybe get some of our friends to come out. And then the slow travel that we embark on is going to be a honeymoon. How about that? So thanks for watching. I hope this gave you some good information. If you're thinking about slow travel or traveling on a budget, and you're excited about the opportunities that are out there, can't wait to see you out there on the road. Please, if you have questions, raise them, or if you have suggestions, I am just dying to learn what everybody else is doing out there that I can learn from, or that we can learn from too. Please like and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to build this up, as you can imagine, and if we're successful at doing that, maybe we can make a little bit of money on it too, as we go into retirement, and we try and create this as an alternative way to make a few bucks. So come along, join our community. Let's talk. Let's share ideas. Subscribe and share. And sawadee kap.